Okay, good morning, Rebbe. All right, we're on page, let me see, what did I do here? Playing around here. All right, we're on page Kuf Lamed Daled. Let me get a drink. And we are on number, wait a minute, what happened here? Kuf Lamed Daled? Okay, it's on Kuf Lamed Gimel. And we're reading the Tiv. And the rabbit said, we had been talking about the idea of tie. I mean, that's where I have us marked here. Today's the 8th. That was where I stopped. So he said, I'm just reading the black print. Ki heim tai nimim. That we said there are 410 nimim. Shesham nisbayer shahasa'aru shal erik anben heim tai. It's to let you know that they are Taf Yud, 410. So he said, this is the misbar of Kadosh, uminyanim oilu misbar tevis Kadosh, shuhu begematria tai. Zel loshen shar Maimari Rashbi. He's going to quote the Maimari Rashbi here. He says, Biperushach of the Sifra Ditzniusa Perik Aleph. He says, Va'amnam. He yos bekol kutz, every one of the kutz in the bundles, tai nimim. So, wait a minute, the kutz usually, okay, I don't know, kutz means follicles. There are 410 different strands inside of it. Bakol Nima Tai Almin, and each one of those has Tai Almin. Whatever that means, there's 410 hiddennesses in it. Bakol Alma Tach Ivor. Each one of them all has 420 different passages. So we got 410, 410, 420. Hine Betzinu Shnecha Hashbainus Elu, the Shnei Bata Yisrael. So there's two different Hashbainus. One for the two different houses of the Jews, or I don't know what he means by houses. Bais Rishon is Tai, Ubais Sheni is Tach. The Ain says so. Oh, excuse me. He's talking about the Batim. Did I read it wrong? He says he Metzidu Sheyesh Banim Elu Shnei Bata Yisrael. He means the Beis Hamikdash. Bais Rishon was 410 years. Bais Sheni is 420 years. Vein Safik, he yos minyan animim tai minyan kadosh ad kana. He says that for sure that 410 goes with the idea of kadosh. But tai iver hanizka. Now, what's tai iver mean? Ma'ayin the el of devir maskil uvasod tai almim. So I didn't really see much there. He said v'hidach bebechinazu v'atach bevayar rav mahai kavana shall os yud shall Shem Shkotzit. So what's the Kavanot over here? He says the Heinrich of B'Shem Chavayah the Milu Yudin Kazeh. So let's look at the name Av. It has 4 Yudin in it. Yeshbo Eser Osius, it's 10 letters. B'Zecha Kavanot Shel Os Yud, and this is the Kavanot that we're getting to now, those Yud the Shem Shkotzit. Shazu HaYud, he begematria Eser means 10. Kamisper Eser Osius Sheyesh B'Chavayah the Milu Yudin. So he says it goes like that. So he goes to the Eser Osius, the 10 letters of Av. V'Kavanah Shecha V'Ani Tefilasi. So the Kavanah where we have this phrase V'Ani Tefilasi. He says Shetevis Tefilasi, he Osius Tefilas Yud. So you could divide it up like that. So in other words, the Yud referring to the Av. For Tfilos Yud, Hainu Sha'ata, Za Oilu the Erik Anpen. So therefore, Zer Anpen, moving up to the level of that. Umakabel, Esar Shafet Mishem Havaya de Milu Yudin, and is in the place of the Havaya of Milu Yudin. Sheyeshbo Esar Osir, Vazachav Remes the Filos Yud, is the Filos Yud, which means the Yud letters that come with the Milui of Havaya the Yudin. Shu Eser Osir shall divide the Milu Yudin. Let's go on to the next one, number Kuf Samach Gimel. So he's a Kibimei HaChol Chazach Mekabel is the Shefesh Me'asaras the Erik Anpin. So this we saw. So during the weekday, Berichol Gadol, but it's from a tremendous distance because it goes from the head of Erik Anpin to the head of Zer Anpin, which is a distance. Zoki Raka Ara Ba'alma. At this point, it's only Ha'ara. Mincha Shabbos, he says, Hazacha ba'ola b'dikna de'era darich. It's in a tremendous penimistic place. B'kabel as shefa shal has'aras b'kiruv gadol, and then it is able to receive the sheva from the hairs at a very close distance. V'lechein yesh l'kaben zos b'tefillas mincha Shabbos b'tevis v'anis filasi. So that's therefore in this phrase v'anei tefilas would be the tefillas yud. Okay, so he said ki as'aro shel erik anpin nimshachem mechavayim demilu yudin sheyesh bechem eser osius. So you're moving to that place. I'm just going to read the black print. What does that mean? Pirush. So Havaya normally refers to zer anpin. Atahu es ratzon. This is the time of being accepted. The dikna derich. Last one, he said, so since it's coming up to the dikna of der anpin, so that it has the ability to be able to receive the shefa that comes out of the forehead of a rich. This is the metzach of desire, everything that we want, and also is accepted on the other end. So now, where you see the aliyah of Zah to a rich, l'kabel b'men shefa, Azhu es ratzon. That's the time of that we are accepted. Let's look at the next one, and we are getting close to the end of this piece. He says v'laos taf shel shkatzit. So let's look at the taf. He said the taf the kaver connected the tefillas and mincha. So I'm reading across the top now. So the taf goes with mincha. So he said the yud goes with mincha and the taf goes with mincha because he had previously said tai, taf and yud. So he said taf yud mincha. Sheba ana oimrim ata echad v'shimcha echad. That's where we say that you are one and your name is one. What's pshat? To'inyan he say who kihine dalad yudin yesh b'shem av hanizkar. Now let me just see. He says that it says what? It says ata echad v'shimcha echad. So he's concentrating on the word one. So he said there are 4 different yudin in the name of. Kol yud mehem kolula meyud. So now you have 10 times 10. It makes each one of them who kuf is 100. Benimsa arba'asim olim begematria tov. And so we see the 4 of them come up to the gematria of tov. V'zecha v'ato echad. So this is the concept of you are one. Ato echad. Ritzon lomar ach dalid. You are ach and dalid. So what does this mean? It's a lashon of a yichud. Nikra ach. Ola ad makom dalid. It goes to the place of the dalid. Shehem hadalid yudim and iskarim, which are these 4 yudim that we're talking about. Each one of them represents a kuf, which is 100. Zesod echad, and this is the secret of the word echad. Okay, let's look over here. We have a little more time, and let's look at the next one. And so we could add this up in a few minutes. On number kuf samach zayin, it says v'os tav shel shem shkotzitz yesh l'kavet be'emsa tefillas amida de mincha Shabbos. So he says that this is a letter, this taf, that you're supposed to have this kavanot in the middle of your tefillah. Shebetefillas mincha Shabbos omrim ata echad v'shimcha echad, because there is a phrase that after the Birkei Avos you say this phrase. You are one, your name is one. It's oneness. So how does it work? In the name of Vaya Milu Yudin, Yesh Bechem Arba Yudim Gezeh. Count them up. He said, "V'kol Yud Ma'arba Yudin Sheyesh Bechavaya the Milu Yudin. Gam He Kolula Yud." It also has 10 in with it, so that the Nimsa Shekol Yud He Kolelis Eser Yudin. So therefore, you have 4 times. You have 10 times 10. Nimsa Shekol Yud He Bigematria Meya Shahare Bekol Yud Yesh Eser Yudin. Okay, so Bekaven Shebechavaya the Milu Yudin. So I'm looking at that. Yesh Arba Yudin Shekol Echad He Meya. So each one of them is 100. Nimsa she'arba'asim she'arba sayudin, that the 4 yudin halalucha ba'oile v'gematria tov. So fine, you did that. So now what's pshat? So therefore, once we know that this is the nature of the yudin in that name, so he says, so when you get to that phrase, ata echad b'shimcha echad, so the Kavanot is in this way. Shaza nikra ach. He's called ach. Why? He said, because al shem shuhu kolul tesha spheres chabad chagad 9. So he said, ach is gematria 9. Shehem gematria ach. V'gam ha'zera b'hu ach shel hanuk. He's also, I thought he was going to say that he's their ach da ach, but instead he says that Azahu ach shel hanuk. He's the brother of the nuk. The nuk came ben ubas la'aba ve'ima. So in other words, they're related. So therefore, he's called the ach part of that. And what we're getting to is that he's getting to going up to the place of the daled. Yudin the shame av is supposed to tell you that. Yudin kolulim kol echad bebeya v'yachtav heim tof, and all together they make tof. So zerav v'pirish shel echad. So now we have an explanation of what echad means, which is ach hu hazah, daled hu la daled, yudin the shame av, and you're going up into that area. Now I thought of another one, a Fleischman one, is that echad is a gematria 13, and as Eric Anpin is going up to, Zer Anpin is going up to the level of the dikna of Eric Anpin, which are 13 tikkunim. Now we have just very little time. I just want to go over this because that section is over here, and it started off by talking. We're taking on Shabbos. Our kavanah tonight would be that when we come to the shul, we'll be thinking about the letter shin of this name shkotzitz, which really refers to malchus. So it's a shin of that, and I think the concept was with the shin that it's an aliyah of malchus to the nai of the level of Zer Anpin. So that's the shin because it has those three legs. That's why I remember it. Then it comes to the next letter, which is the kuf. So the kuf, I guess it refers. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. It refers to chakras. So what's pshat over there? And there he gave this answer that it's log, it's shehem shlosh pamim log. So therefore it is that you're dividing the kuf into 3 different parts. And I think over there he said that what happens is a ha'ara that takes place at Shabbos from the chagat of Zer Anpin. So therefore that is building it up also. Then the next letter is the vav. Vav refers to yisod. So that's what I remember. I'm just trying to remember it off the top of my head. And so that is bringing the shefa. I don't know exactly. Does he mean to bringing the shefa into the yesod? Not sure if that's what he means. But at any rate, we're reaching the level of the yesod, I guess, more closely. And then the next one is the yud, which represent. Wait a minute, did I say that wrong? I did say that wrong. It's the vav. It represents the Tiferes. I don't really remember how that goes. It's Tiferes, but at any rate, it's a move upwards like that. And then the shkutz. Then the next one is the tzadi, which represents yesod. And then we come to the last 2, which are the yud and the tov, which we just went through that there. Okay, so I guess that's the shir here today. And we have these kavanas that we could work on them tomorrow and try to look at them again to get an idea of where we're going. And I'll see you on the way back.